And this one is a head-to-head card combat game that can also be played 2v2, but it is the last faction standing that is going to be winning the game. This is a game where players are going to be choosing the faction that they want to play as at the start of the game, and each of these factions is going to have their unique deck of cards that you're going to get along with them. To start the game, players are each going to be drawing 6 cards from their respective decks, and each faction deck has 2 different types of cards that you can find in there. There are the creature cards that you'll be playing out onto the table to attack your opponent, but then there are the action cards that can grant you with a whole variety of instant effects. This is a game that does play over a series of turns, and most of these cards do require you to pay a certain amount of tokens in order to play them. At the start of your turn, you do get to draw another card into your hand, but then you're going to be spending those tokens to do things like draw more cards, untap stunned creatures, or play a new creature card onto the table. And whenever you do this, you actually have 2 rows that you can play those cards into. The row closer to you is your cover zone, which has a little bit more protection, but then there is the hunting zone, which is above that, which will allow you to attack your opponent's cards. And of course, when you attack your opponent, you can only attack their hunting zone. Unless they don't have any cards in that area, then you can go ahead and attack their cover zone, unless they don't have cards there, and in that case you can actually raid your opponent, and if you do this 3 times, then that is one of the ways that you can win the game. The other way is if your opponent runs out of creature cards completely. But on your turn, you can also use those tokens to move units that you already have deployed between the 2 different zones, and of course you can also use a token to attack the opponent. And I already explained how that works, but I should also mention that when it's not your turn, you can also use your tokens for some other actions, like dodging or triggering different reaction cards. But the game continues like this, back and forth with players using those tokens to take those various actions, and the last player standing wins the game. And if you do want to check this one out, I will have it linked down below.